If you're a homeowner and you got a bid for an in-home service like a heating and air unit, a roof, a driveway, a fence, doesn't matter what it is, and the person didn't leave you a bid, why is that? And what can you do about it? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business. Fantastic day to talk about you as a consumer. So first off, I've got nothing to sell you. But if you went out and you had people come to your house and you're like, why can't I get a bid? Why will people not give me a proposal? What is going on here? I got 12. So 10 plus 2, maybe a couple of bonuses, reasons why you are having such a tough time getting a bid. 1, salesperson forgot. Like, it depends upon the time of the year, depends upon the season, doesn't make it right, doesn't make it that it's okay. They absolutely forgot. They got busy, which is kind of like number 2, they're lazy. There are people in the industries, in the trades, that know that they'll close about 30% of deals just by showing up. And they're perfectly fine with that. They don't want to put in the work. So number 1, they forgot. Number 2, they are lazy. Number 3, they didn't think you would buy. You know, they tried to go down the path of asking discovery questions and they weren't able to get anywhere with you. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's just a personality conflict. You know, sometimes it's just one of those things where it just doesn't work out. You don't connect well with people. They don't connect well with you. It may not be your fault. It's probably theirs. Okay? Number 4, they made the mistake of thinking you can't afford it. If you are in the trades long enough, you find that there are plenty of houses that you go to that are in really nice neighborhoods that can't afford things. You go to a lot of houses in not so nice neighborhoods where they've got a vault with $1 million in the safe. Like, my belief is I could care less. Everybody's got money, and somehow I don't judge people. I don't prejudge, because I've seen a guy with barbecue sauce stains on his shirt and holes in his shorts and flip-flops that didn't even match pay $200,000 for units. So there are people who prejudge. It's a silly thing to do. I agree with you. Okay. Number 5, they didn't like you and thought you'd be drama after the sale. Like, they labeled you a difficult buyer or complainer. And so here's the thing. Jobs go sideways. I don't care the industry. I don't care the service. But if it's going to be overly complicated and it's going to be an issue after the deal, salespeople will go, I don't really want this job. So sometimes they have to defend themselves to a manager and like, why didn't you sell that job? Or a business owner. And they're like, hey, that person's going to be super difficult. Now, if it's slow, they may accept it. If it's busy, they're like, nope, we're only taking the cream of the crop leads. We don't want this. So those 5 things were all about the salesperson. They were all about the salesperson. The next 7 kind of have to do with you, right? Number 6. Oh, 6. Silently 6. The scope of work was too big. So depending upon the season, there's a lot of companies in the middle of the summer that they'll tell the salespeople 1-day jobs only. That's it. We're only doing 1-day jobs. Standard changeouts. We're not getting stuck in a quagmire of 5-day jobs, 4-day jobs, 3-day jobs. It is easier on the crews. It's too hard on their bodies. We want easy jobs. And so sometimes salespeople will look at the job and they'll look and they're like, this is a 3-day job. And it's really easy. I'm going to give you California numbers. Your numbers may be completely different. About for every $12,000 of business, the job could be 1 day. So you get up to a job that's like $36,000, $48,000. It's really easy to look at it and go, it's probably a 3 or 4 day job. 3 or 4 day job, unless it's just a piece of equipment, unless it's a heat pump conversion with a brand new line or something that's going on. It's like there's time and money, and so all that labor is figured into it. Number 7, you're rude or aggressive. There's a lot of different ways to do this. There's a lot of different things that happen, and I've heard people say, well, it's my money. I can act however I want. Well, you know, salespeople go, I don't want to deal with rude and aggressive. Me, I don't want to go to the grocery store and deal with rude and aggressive. I don't want to have a client that's rude and aggressive. Number 8, real deal. You might have been really good at negotiating and there's nothing left in that deal for that salesperson to make any money. They're in the job to make money. They are. I'm going to share something with you, super not so secret. Every salesperson on the planet is paid commission. And so there is a point where you have negotiated too hard and you were awesome. High five, right? You were awesome, and there was nothing left in the sale for the salesperson. My belief is I'd rather take a little bit than none. But some sales dudes are like, I'm going to walk away with nothing. There's nothing. It's not a big enough dopamine rush for them. It is what it is. Okay. Number 9, you come after across somebody who wants free information. Every single thing that a homeowner does, a good salesperson has seen 5, 10, 15 times in a year. They already know. If they've been in the field for 10 or 15 years, they already know where you're going, right? Well, I'm just trying to gather some information. No, you're after model numbers and you're trying to do it your own, but you're not really telling them that's what it is. I could think of multiple calls where people would ask me, well, how would you do it? And they weren't, how would you do it, asking the question because they were curious. They wanted me to instruct them on how to do the job and teach them what to do. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. You can pay me for my time, but I'm not free information dude, okay? Like, I'm telling you, this is how salespeople think. And you're like, Scott, I didn't get my bid. You may have triggered this. You know, there's places where people will send equipment online and you can buy it and you're like, you don't know how to do it. Hey, that's what YouTube's for. Just telling you the way it is. Number 10, this one's super importante, as I like to say. You already have a vendor. You already have somebody that you're working with. You are not serious about buying from, like, you've got 123 company, right? Cool, 123 company, probably a good company. You call up XYZ company. XYZ company comes out. They're not even on the list. You don't even really want them to do the work. You just want to confirm that 123 company is giving you a good price, right? It happens. I think it's a crazy thing to do, because then ABC company comes out. It's a complete waste of time. If you don't trust the company that you're working with, that one's on you. Number 11, you tell the sales guy, I've got 15 bids coming. Like, that's a pure sign that you're looking for something, but you're not willing to say its price. Like, if somebody says I'm getting 10 bids, it's a price issue. And sales guys are like, I'm not going to deal with that because it's going to cut into my commissions, and I would rather hang out with people that's not going to grind on me. Right? Grinding is where you keep asking for discounts or you keep asking for stuff. And a hybrid of this is where you take everybody's content and then you go to the cheapest guy and you build out a list and say, here's all the things that I want you to do, right? I don't want to be involved with that. I won't do it as a consultant. Someone's like, hey, I've got a scope of work that I want you to work with. I'm like, great, where did it come from? Well, I talked to other people. Not interested. Not interested. Like, I'm not doing my work of scope of work off of somebody else's scope of work. And then number 12, 10 plus 2, you told them that you're shopping on price. Great. I mean, price is important. But if you're like, this is the only thing that's important to me, here's what I'm going to share with you. In the trades, when somebody shops solely on price, and that's the only thing that they care about, they're not going to get hurt today. You're not going to get hurt today. But I will promise you that at some point in the future, 6 months later, year later, 3, 4 years later, something's going to come back to get you. And that company's probably going to be out of business. The average heating and air company lasts 3 years, does less than $500,000 in revenue, and has 3 employees, a husband, a wife, and a son, or a nephew, or a cousin. And the reason they go out of business is not enough revenue and not enough price. Here's the thing. I gave you 12 reasons why somebody probably didn't leave you a bid. Some of them are on you. Some of them are on the salesperson. I'll point to myself. Some of them are on the salesperson. And if you're like, hey, I didn't get one. Listen, I got nothing to sell you. I have nothing that I can like, hey, buy something from me. I'm just giving you the reasons. So no reason to complain and tell me that you had 27 bids out and nobody left your proposal. I don't know what to tell you. You probably did 2, 3, or 4 of these things. It's what you need to know. I probably will not be active in this chat. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for checking out this video.